Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me for April's weekly roundup. So today, I want to address just a couple questions that we've been fielding this week, myself in particular, but address some of the questions we've been getting as far as some of the changes to regular operations because of COVID-19. So the main thing I'm going to focus on today, rather than some of the social distancing and essential versus non-essential, I've been getting a lot of questions about pesticide licenses and what to do if those are coming up for renewal, if you're worried about those. Sadly, I don't have a really good answer for you right now. Just like cooperative extension, the DEC is also working from home, so things have slowed down quite a bit. I have been in contact with some of our regional pesticide people that you also know too. And basically the thing that I've heard is they're working on the guidance right now. Hopefully it's going to be out soon. If you haven't heard back from them yet, they are working on it. If you attended Pesticide Recertification Day, if you signed those sheets, I did get those sent in. Under normal circumstances, it takes a little while for that information to be added to your license credits, but they do have it. If you do have questions, please give me a call, but really stay, keep an eye on our e-news, keep an eye on the blog. We will put updates like that up and get those sent out to you as soon as we get them. Those do tend to be pretty immediately important, and they might, that's not something you necessarily want to wait for the e-news on Friday to hear. So those are the kinds of updates that we want to send out as we get them. So sorry, I don't have a more satisfying answer or a more concrete answer or directions to give you on that. Hopefully we will have those soon, and we'll be able to kind of help you through that process. So I guess one thing to mention, they are still working on things as they get them. It is just a slower process right now. So aside from that, I'm going to point out, link to a few other webinars. I know there are a lot of webinars out there right now. There are some, I guess they were scheduled to be regular meetings in other counties or in other regions, that those groups are putting them into webinar format, and they're going to be posting those up online. Morning Ag Clips had one. Erie County is doing that for their marketing seminars that they do. They're going to be splitting those, I think I read, into 2 or 3, a series of webinars. And those look really interesting if you are moving retail to more of an online format, or that interests you. That's something that's now open statewide. You don't have to travel for. So that might be something to check out. The CAP team is also very interested in doing some of those things, but we want to hear from you and the kinds of questions that you want us to address. So for that, CAP is also starting a new, it's sort of like an office hours, similar to what this kind of was going to be starting out as, hopefully getting people to participate, but this is going to be in Zoom. The link is going to be on our e-news this week. We'll have it up on Facebook, or the event up on Facebook anyway, but on Thursdays, we want you to have lunch with us. So the CAP team will be around to help answer questions. But this is also a really good, I think next week we're starting, so Thursday at 12:30. So the whole CAP team will be in Zoom. You can come chat with us, ask questions. Let's see if, you have something that you would like us to do more in depth, have ideas for, what we can put together in a webinar. That's going to be a really great place to kind of pick our brains and let us know kind of what you would like to see. If it's maybe a follow-up from another webinar that you've like another topic maybe addressed more in depth, that's something that's really good for us to know. We don't necessarily want to be presenting the same information as every other county that's doing something. So let us know what you would like to see, what's going to be really helpful for you right now. And you can do that through our office hours. Of course, we're still available through email and checking our phones. So you can still get a hold of us. And especially for those greenhouse growers out there, and I know there are some cut flower growers, some of the nurseries, pest season has begun. And even though farm visits are out at the moment, that's not really an option for us. Pictures are still a great option for this. So you don't really need any special equipment. Some of the smaller stuff can be kind of hard, but we can still get a really good idea just from pictures on Pest ID. Frankly, working with most of you, y'all kind of know what you're doing and how to identify a lot of things anyway. But if you do have questions, if you see something kind of strange, if you want just a confirmation of what you're seeing, please send us photos. That's really better than, just kind of guessing right now. We are still here. So please keep in touch. Let's see. I think one quick plug, a reminder, if you are able to watch this live, there is a 2:00 webinar from the horticulture team. So you'll even get to hear me talk a little bit more today, but really only for a couple minutes. We have Rich Stupp from the Ag Workforce Development team coming to talk about, say, in your greenhouses, in your nurseries, how to be safe during COVID-19. So what you should be doing as far as workforce reductions or keeping social distancing, disinfecting. A lot of the stuff you have been hearing, but he is really aiming this at questions for the greenhouse industry, which has, there's been some back and forth from the guidelines on where greenhouse and nurseries and landscapers all fall under essential versus non-essential. So while we may not entirely clear that up for you, we can at least give some guidance on how to deal with those health guidelines, I guess. We want to keep you safe. We want to keep any employees safe. So Rich Stupp is going to be covering that. Julie Suarez is going to be coming on to talk a little bit. She is one of Cornell's, she's kind of the liaison to our state government for cooperative extension, and she's going to be talking a little bit about these guidelines and the greenhouse industry and what cooperative extension is able to say and do for greenhouse growers, I guess. So it's going to be really interesting. Hopefully we're going to have time to do a little bit of, we sent out a survey said already, that was last week. I guess just to learn about what all of our greenhouse growers are doing as far as marketing and how they're changing marketing, what they have already been doing. And we're hopefully going to be covering or touching just on a few of these things to kind of maybe put some ideas in your head about how you might be able to change up your retail operations, some things to consider, things to look into. So that'll be one thing. Also, just again, if we have time, a quick primer on what we need for photo submissions or things that are at least really helpful for us if we are taking pest photo submissions. But in general, we just want to really encourage you to send us photos of pests if you have questions. Let's see what else. Oh, and then John Sanderson and Marjorie Daughtry, if we have time, are going to give just quick seasonal pest updates, what they would expect us to be seeing this time of year, what they've heard from a few people around the state on what they're seeing. Just a really quick update on that side of things. If something like that would be useful for us to do regularly, let us know, because the Hort group can put that together fairly quickly. I think, especially between some of the educators, like John and Marjorie, and we have Brian Eschnauer and Betsy Lamb and Neil Matson. We have a lot of options to address, just kind of the typical greenhouse concerns, which are still very relevant, even if the retail side of things has changed this year. So yeah, I'm going to be linking to sites. If you are not already checking it, make sure to check the Ag and Markets coronavirus guideline updates. They've been updating, not quite daily. Sometimes it's just, a wording change here and there, and not always the horticulture section. But there are little updates, additions, about every other day. So, keep that bookmark, check that regularly. I'll include that link here too. Again, make sure to sign up for our e-news, and as soon as we get updates about the process for pesticide applicator license renewals at the moment, any of those procedures that the DEC is considering, any guidelines that they come out with, we'll be sending those out to you through that list. So we want to make sure we can get a hold of you as quickly as possible. So I'll also link to the sign up for that. Keep an eye on our Facebook for events. I'll list a lot of the upcoming webinars. And even, if you missed the webinar today, if you missed the small farms and workforce development webinar this morning, that was about produce farms. If you missed that and want to see it when we see the link posted for it, because I believe they were going to record and post it, any information that comes out from that we'll also link to. So please keep us in mind. Hopefully we will see you on Thursday for lunch with our office hours. That link will be included in our e-news as well. So for now, thanks for joining me this week. Hopefully we will see you on Thursday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully I will see you in person soon.